Y'all, I really gave in to the Gracie Abrams hate train. You know, I saw the comments, oh, this girl can't sing, this girl can't sing. I saw her perform I Miss You, I'm Sorry live on YouTube, on my iPad, and I'm sold now. And I'm disappointed. I've been crashing out like a 13-year-old girl. And it reminded me of a time back in high school. Some may say my first love. When I had a 6-year situationship with a DL hockey player. I've heard the whispers on the street. You know, what if Zach told a happy story? What if he told a story with a happy ending? And that is not what I'm going to do today. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm still waiting for my happy ending. Okay? But the baddies in my DMs are really having me think that the happy ending is on its way. Just for a little backstory, I came out when I was like 17 to fan affair, crowd affair. You know, my friends, they were all totally chill with it. They were like, Zach, we been new. Okay, fam. But when I told my family, it was kind of a different story. I grew up in a pretty religious household. I'm the grandson of a preacher. Okay, sort of Ethel Cain vibes. So when I told my parents, they were more like, really? So you like getting your cookie munched by by a man? So like any 17-year-old gay guy, when I told my mom, I was just like, yes, diva, you know, I did a number. And I was like, of course, I love to get my cookie worked out. Of course, I'm only joking. I went about it way more nonchalant. I was like, Mama, I have a secret to tell you. I killed a man. Just kidding, I'm only gay. And she did cry. We worked it out. We worked it out on the remix. We're like this now. That's my good sis. If you think, Zach, you must be getting your cookie munched every single day now, you're wrong, okay? Maybe once a year. Maybe once a year. Okay, it's a drought. I'm in the trenches out here. But back in high school, these boys couldn't get enough. They couldn't get enough. It was all you could eat. So just to paint you a picture, I had mentioned in the last video that I was completely chopped as a teenager, and I wasn't lying. Okay, jump scare warning, trigger warning. This is what I looked like, okay? Yeah, that guy was getting his cookie munch like every single day of the week. Okay, bongo. So I was sitting in class looking like that, vibing, okay? I was just completely vibing, like vibe check. I passed it, okay? And then, what's that smell? It smells like a tall glass of water. I crank my head and, okay. Do y'all know that picture of Noah Beck on the roller coaster where he's like this? Wait, where he's like this? That's what this man looked like, in my mind at least, okay? I don't know how this man pulled this, but hey, you know what? That's the beauty of life, is that miracles happen every single day. So I'm just sitting in class vibing. I'm vibing, turn my head, tall glass of water, Noah Beck walks in, sits right beside me. The boy is mine. So after a couple weeks of going to class with him sitting beside me, us having some good ass banter. What's that smell? This man's fruity. But all my friends, they were adamant saying, Zach, that guy's as straight as pasta, okay? And you know what I had to say to that? Well, what happens when you boil pasta? I'm only joking, of course. I'm way too shy of a person to ever even flirt with a man, gay or straight. Okay, and I'm not trying to flirt with a straight guy and then get my shit rocked. So I was just kind of vibing. I was like, no, whatever. Like, if it happens, it happens. Like, let's just see how the night goes. I'm trying to keep the good vibes going and not cause any drama, okay? I don't want to, okay? But there were some rumors in high school floating around about the girls that he's been with, and that perhaps, you know, things weren't working the way they should. So this brings us to the night where everything changed. We were all at a party together. Noah Beck was there. I was there with all my friends. We were vibing. And then the friend running the party says, Zach, Noah Beck, he wants to talk to you about something. And I'm like, Noah wants to talk to me about something? So the party's going on in my friend's backyard. She leads me over to Noah, okay? She leaves. It's just Noah and I now. And of course, I'm kicking my feet. I'm blushing. I'm like, hi, Noah. What's up? So Noah says to me, Zach, I'm sure you heard about all the rumors going around the school and all that. And I don't know what's going on with me. But I think I'm willing to give up my ass. And I quote. So at that point, I'm just like, okay, yeah. Give up your ass. Yeah, I know what you mean by that. And he's like, yeah, like, with you. I'm like, what? But this is what happens when you're like the only gay guy in the school, okay? If anyone's questioning about whether they want to munch cookies or get their cookie munch, they're going to come to you to solve it. And, you know, that is a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because hot, of course, because hot guys. But it's a curse because they're DL. So they don't want nothing but their cookie munched, okay? And I'm a lover boy. I'm a lover boy. What if I love the cookie, okay? At this point in my life, I was more of a get my cookie munched than a cookie monster, if you will. So I was like, hey, I mean, I guess. But also, I know about straight guys' asses. I know what you girls are dealing with. We basically just left it at that and continued on the night. And a couple days had gone by, months even, and we never really brought it up again. But him and I, we developed a pretty good friendship. We would like hang out after school, go for cruises. Whenever there was a party, he'd invite me out, and it was like good vibes. But I was always sitting there waiting and wondering, when will that cookie be mine? Fast forward a couple months, I'm just vibing at home, okay? I'm on Snapchat, I'm saying swipe up for a TBH, like it's 2018, I'm just vibing. I'm just talking to my girls, having a good time. And me and Noah Beck, we don't really talk much outside of school. We're mostly like school friends, you know what I mean? So when I see a notification saying, Noah Beck, ding, and it's a video, that's strange. And you know, TikTok isn't a thing yet, so it's not a TikTok. I wonder what it could be. I open it. Now, this is a couple years ago, okay? So give me a little grace if I don't remember exactly what he said. But along the lines of the video, it said, hey, we should hang out sometime. Let's just say he was stroking that shit. So of course, me looking like this at the time, I'm like, hell yeah, brother. Oh. So I snap him back and I'm like, when and where? Because I'm about to beat it up bongos. He says, I'm going to come pick you up in my truck. And I'm like, okay, yeah. Let's do it. So he picks me up. We get freaky, okay? And I'm not trying to always spill all my business on the internet. I already did that, and it ended great. Let's just say we got freaky, okay? I'll leave it at that. We got freaky, and it was amazing. It was amazing. It's Noah Beck. It's Noah Beck, for God's sake. So after the freaking happens, I noticed that the vibe is off. And I'm like, oh, so he doesn't want to be my friend anymore. And I had noticed previously from past experiences that if you hook up with a straight guy that is your friend, the odds are that they're not going to be your friend after. You may keep getting freaky with them, but friends is off. Because I don't know why. I don't know why they're like that. Maybe it's just the ones I've been with. But usually it's only business after that, okay? I feel like if you hook up with like gay friends, then it's more chill. Because you're all just having fun. You're all having fun, and sometimes these DL guys don't know how to have a little fun. So let's just say it was kind of a big loss for me, okay? Only guy friend. He's gone. I'm just back with my girls now. Back to how it was before. Everything I know leads me back to us. So I'm kind of sad about that. But then the dust settles, and hey, we're basically friends again. We've known each other for about 2 to 2.5, 3 years now at this point. So we're just like, you know what? Whatever, we got freaky that one time. So what, we got freaky that one time. We're still good buds. We get along. I'm a Taurus and he's a Scorpio, which is like opposites. And I've heard that means we have good compatibility. So I liked the guy. I liked hanging out with him. He's fun. And he looks like Noah Beck. And I know what y'all are saying. Zach, stop being so superficial. And I'm not trying to be, okay? His cookies were delicious. Okay? That's biological. That's not my fault. Maybe it is and you're right, okay? But just a reminder, I look like this. Okay, I gotta take what I can get. So I've come to terms with the fact that was probably just one-time thing, okay? And then ring, ring, ring. Hey, Zach, come munch my cookies again. Okay. So we just go in his truck out into a field somewhere and magic happens, okay? And then this kind of continues on. We get the freakings become more frequent all throughout the rest of high school. And I'm just like, this is kind of fun, okay? It's kind of also heartbreaking and gut-wrenching because I know this man, he's living a separate life, okay? We're kind of in a violent marriage sort of type moment. So I'm fine with the fact that it's unrequited and that's, you know, I really like this guy, okay? And sometimes when we get freaky, it's not just freaking happening, okay? It's love. Probably just in my delusional mind, though. I will say I do remember this day quite well because it taught me a real hard lesson about hooking up with straight guys. And that is that, you know, you'll get freaky, you'll do all that, and then you'll go to a party right after, and they'll have the girls all over them and be flirting with the girls, and you're just, I'm in the corner watching you kiss her. Oh! A lesson for you all, do not hook up with straight guys. And I know what you're saying, Zach, if they hook up with you, they're not straight, are they? I don't care. I don't care if they're straight. If they say they're straight, they're straight. That's not my business. They do what they want. But what you will get is unrequited love, which is the most common theme in my entire life, because this man ended up getting a girlfriend for the last half of our last year of school. So safe to say the freakingings had ceased. You know, he was getting someone else's cookies, and that's okay. I respect it, okay? Just don't come crawling back to me, because I'll say no. That's a lie. Him and I ended up moving to the same city for college, so I mean, you can put two and two together. He was back on his freak shit, his gay shit. And I, in case you haven't noticed, don't know how to come off my gay shit. So when he would throw college parties and he'd hit my line and invite me over, hell yeah, I'm coming over. Let's party. Except it was all kind of frat boy vibes, which hot. But also it was like, y'all, where's the girls at? Where's the girls at? No bitches? No bitches? And of course, I mean that respectfully, in like the Megamind meme sort of vibe of it all. But I would come over and there's like no girls. It's just a sausage party, which of course me being, yes, I was like, yes, yes, yes. But I was also like, where's my girls? So I just got off class. I was taking business because I'm a business boy. Okay, marketing major. Okay, did I finish college? No. But he hits my line and he's like, hey, do you want to come over? None of my friends are here. So obviously, me being a simp, I come over. We're hanging out at his place. It's like a frat house, so there's no couch. We're just sitting on lawn chairs in the living room watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine vibing. And he's like, hey, want to come over to my bedroom? Boy, yeah. Just a little note for y'all. I kept my shoes at the front door, so just remember that. We're getting freaky in his bedroom, and then we hear, oh, shit. I run to the bathroom. He's like, go, hide, hide, hide. And I'm like, oh, okay. I run to the bathroom, hiding in the bathroom. His roommate comes in. I hear them yapping. They're yapping. And I'm like, okay. Hiding in the bathroom. And then he's like, oh, is there someone over? And he's like, no, there's no one over. Whose shoes are those? Thankfully, his roommate was already half cut. He was already drunk, so he didn't really pay any attention to it. So his roommate leaves. I come out of the bathroom, and we're like, oh my God, that was such a close call. That was such a close call. I put my shoes on. I'm like, all right, see you, buddy. Dap him up. I leave. Remember how I said I never finished college? Well, that's because I started in January of 2020. So, you know, it's March of 2020 now. We've been getting freaky on and off all throughout college. And then, oh my God, there's a freaking global pandemic. Leave. Get out of my school. So I drop out. I'm like, oh, frick, I guess this is kind of it of my college life. It's over. College is over party. So I move back to my hometown. And you know what he does? He moves back to my hometown too. So he gets a job in the oil field because hunk. I get a job at an old folks home because... So he still hits my line every now and then to get freaky. You know, he's still number one on my roster. Okay? Then he hits me up one night to come over to a party. Of course, me being me, I'm down for a party. So we're at this party living it up, okay? I'm like 20 at this point. I'm playing beer pong, missing every single shot. But my heart's in it. The party kind of fades out. It's like midnight at this point, okay? Everyone's sleepy, okay? So the guy running the house party, he asks if I want to sleep over. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll sleep over. And you know who else is sleeping over? Noah Beck. So the guy whose house it is sleeping upstairs. Noah Beck is sleeping in the guest room right beside him. And I'm sleeping on the couch in the living room right outside their doors. And what's this? Both of them are hitting me up on Snap. And I'm like, what? Now the guy whose house party it was, I'd never gotten any whiffs of nothing from him. Okay? And he's all right. He's all right. Like I would. Of course I would. I mean, the guy running the house party snaps me and he's like, have you ever sucked a straight guy's willy? And I'm like, no, I've never done that. I've never done that before. That's crazy. So at that point, I'm just like laying on the couch like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Oh my God, I've never had this many options in my life. But of course, I got to stick with my tried and true. I got to stick with my good boy, Noah Beck. He's like, hey, come into my room and get these cookies. Knock, knock, knock. Open the door. He's laying there naked on the bed. Yeah. But then this is where things take a turn for the sinister, okay? We're getting freaky. It's been like 20 minutes now. I'm like, I'm kind of tired, honestly. I'm kind of tired. He's like, give me 1 minute. He gets up, goes to the dresser, and puts out something. And let's just say him and Charlie XCX have something in common, okay? Let's just say he's a brat when he's bumping that. And me being the quiet little country boy, I'm like, what the hell? What the hell is going on? And I have nothing against if you're a brat. If you're a brat, you know, as long as you're safe and responsible and having fun, that's more power to you. So I'm just laying there in bed like, oh, okay, yeah. I guess you're a brat. You're a brat. Okay, that's fine. And we did continue to get freaky until 9 in the morning. Okay, it was like 12 hours. I was laying there like, I got nothing left. So the freaking has been going on for 5 years now. Okay, and I don't even have a ring on my finger. My class decides to throw a 2-year little reunion celebration of, hey guys, it's been 2 years since we graduated. 2 years. So magical. So obviously everyone from my class is there. Keep in mind, I went to a really small school. There's like 20 people. But it's still a party. Everyone has their trailers, their tents, and we're having a great time. As you know, I'm a party boy. If there's a party, I'm gonna have a good time, okay? So we're all just sitting around the campfire singing our campfire songs. CAMPFIRESONG song. If you don't know. And Noah Beck is sitting right across the campfire from me, eyeing me up. And he's pointing over to his trailer. I don't have to tell you twice, boy. So he stands his fine ass up, walks over to the trailer. I look at my watch, I give it about 1:50, okay? I walk over to his trailer. We're in there, we're having a good time, we're talking. The vibe kind of shifts into freak zone territory. The freaking begins, okay? We're in the middle of getting freaky. Not full freaking, just other sorts of freaking. I'm sure you can understand what I mean. And that's when the guy who threw the house party opens the door, and his trailer is right in front of the campfire where everyone's sitting. I like to think that the guy who threw the house party didn't notice anything, and neither did all of my classmates sitting right outside the door. Okay, so I just, oh, hey there, wow, what are you doing in here? The guy who throws the house party is just like, oh, I'm just grabbing a drink. He grabs a drink, shuts the door, and me and Noah are like, we got to continue this, but it's not safe here. And he's like, I have an idea. Follow me over to the porta-potties. So it's been a couple minutes. I walk over to the porta-potty, and I say, what do you say we choose anywhere else? Okay, I'm not trying to get freaky in a frickin' porta-potty. And this campsite is in like a forested area. There's trees everywhere. It's kind of low-key. It's a low-key location. So I'm like, why don't we just do it like they do on the Discovery Channel? We just go in the woods, okay? People say it's not Adam and Steve, but in this case, it certainly is. So we walk literally 20 meters away from the porta-potty, like 30 feet. I don't know if that conversion's right. Okay, and it's dark out. It's not that dark. And we're just on the grass in a little bit of trees getting freaky. Getting freaky in the grass. Like, this is why humans were created, okay? And all of my friends are still walking over to the porta potty. They don't know nothing's going on, so it's kind of fun vibes. I'm trying my best to leave some things for your imagination, okay? So let's just say we got freaky. You know, the cookies have been successfully munched. No one stopped us that time. We go back to the campsite. We're all, woo, we're on top of the world. My cookie's been munched. So the next day of the reunion, I come to terms with something. And that is that I don't think I can continue allowing this man to use me. I know, huge if true. So I did kind of confess my feelings for him, which is not something you want to do with a DL guy, because there's only one answer they're going to give you, honey. Now, he is a super sweet guy, so he's basically like, Zach, I'm sorry, because you know I can't be about that gay shit. Okay, you know I can't be about that gay shit publicly. And I'm like, well, I should have saw this coming. Should have saw this coming after 5 years. So at that point, I'm like, hey, you know what? That's fine, but I don't think I can give you my cookies anymore. I don't think I can do that just for my own self-respect. I don't think I can do it, which was pretty big for me, if I do say so myself, until it wasn't, because about a year later, you know, he had hit me up and I was like, boy, no, until you want more than just my cookie, until you want my heart and my soul, I can't give it up to you no more. I'm sorry. Until one night, like a year later, when I threw that all out the window, I was banging on the walls of my enclosure. I was like, let me out. Let me out. I need my cookie munched. I can't take this anymore. Okay, so I hit his line. For the first time, and I was like, boy, I'm down. If you're down to clown. I am. Those cookies, where are they? And he, of course, answered my prayers. Now, what I'm going to say next, let's just say I'm lying, okay? I'm lying. I'm making this part up. Okay? So there's this small museum near my town, which is like a bunch of old farmhouses that they have little knickknacks in and mannequins, and it's like a museum, okay? It's like a country museum. And in high school, people started to learn the code to get in, and people would like go in, not break anything, not cause any damage, just like wander around at night because it was kind of spooky vibes. And allegedly, of course. And me, of course, I knew the code. And I didn't want to get freaky in a vehicle again. There's only so much the old Kia can take, okay? So I was like, hey, what do you say we do something a little crazy? So allegedly, in my dreams, of course, this isn't true, we go into the museum, And it's set up like an old farmhouse. So there's a couch, there's a living room, there's a bedroom, and all that. And when I tell you that in my dreams, allegedly, we got freaky all over that place. Now, allegedly, we fell asleep upstairs, and don't worry, we were super respectful. We didn't break anything. We weren't going too crazy, okay? You may say it's disrespectful to do that in the first place, and you're probably right, but that's fine because it didn't happen. It didn't happen. None of this part happened, okay? This is all a lie. We allegedly fell asleep upstairs, woke up at like 5 in the morning, like, what the hell happened? What? This is really crazy. This is insane. Probably the craziest thing I'd ever done. So we kind of part ways, and then I'm like, shit. I forgot my shirt and my lube. I just had like a hoodie that I threw on, and I had a shirt underneath it, and I was like, frick, I forgot both those things. So I come back the next day, and oh my God, when I tell you, I unlock the door, I go upstairs, and I see my shirt folded up. And I'm like, what's missing? That's right, my lube. They folded my shirt and threw away the lube. So safe to say that was the last time we ever got freaky. He still hits my line every now and then, but I'm like, boy, how do you let me kiss every part of you except your lips? Okay, I just want some love. And if you're not gonna be that with me, then I'm not gonna do this with you anymore, okay? My body's a temple. You may have the key, but guess what? Give it back. It's been revoked. Until the monkey starts banging on its enclosure again. But until then, I'm doing what's best for me. Would you look at that? I think our FaceTime's over. But hey, at least I didn't talk about eating